What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcasting channel. Thanks for being here, for being subscribed. If you're not, hit that button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like button. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this reality chat. Oh my gosh. I was trying not to go here, but listen, when it comes to Latisha on Love and Marriage Huntsville and Melody, the problem clearly is Latisha. And listen, one of the reasons why I didn't want to talk about this is because there's already this thing when it comes to colorism, and there are some people that definitely are affected by that through no fault of their own. But in my personal opinion, I believe that Latisha, she would try to use the colorism argument to be her scapegoat as to why people may see Melody in a more favorable light than they do her. And to be honest with you, even though she may not talk about it much, but she has alluded to it before on social media. But to be honest with you, the only thing that people see about her when it comes to the darkness is what she exudes from her soul. Not her skin color, not her skin tone, because she's absolutely beautiful, to be honest with you. But it's very, very sad. And when I was watching the show over the seasons, and I've seen how her husband dismisses her, he has no interest in trying to make the marriage and the relationship work. He has no involvement in any real counseling or therapy so that they could have better communication with each other, so that he could have better communication skills, so that he could better see his wife as his partner and his equal versus someone who is supposed to be subservient to him and it is supposed to be taking care of the children in the household. But yeah, let me use your name and your gender for this business so that we can hopefully get some favoritism when it comes to bids on contracts for the sake of discriminatory practices and things like that, where companies are bidding on things so that they're not left out in the cold, and to see how she was on this last episode when it comes to Melody versus, let's just be honest, how she was with Stormy, the one that called her husband a bitch to his and her face, and she didn't even say one thing. But to see how she had this energy for Melody, it is clear to me that this woman is extremely jealous and insecure of Melody. And it's sad because I'm one of the people that tends to not lean on the argument of someone is jealous or they're a hater, because it's a very lazy argument that a lot of people try to use. If, for example, if I'm giving a critique about, let's just say, Meghan Markle, because I've done more than a few commentaries about her and Prince Harry on my platform, someone may make a comment in my comment section and say, "Oh, you're just jealous of Meghan." And it's really ridiculous to me because she has absolutely nothing that I'm jealous of. I have no desire to be her, want to live her life, want to look like her, want to be her, want to have what she has. I just clearly give observations and my opinions about things that I have the privilege of seeing. So when someone responds and say, "Well, you're just jealous or you're just a hater," okay, whatever, because I'm neither. I'm not a hater and I'm not jealous. But when it comes to a situation like Latisha and Melody, it is absolutely clear that she exhibits and exudes jealousy and the insecurity. And it's really sad. So I was a bit bothered at first when I saw her going to therapy and counseling with Dr. Francis without him, because I felt like he just was like, "I'm out. I'm not doing this anymore." But actually, she really is the one that needs it. I'm not saying that he doesn't need it too. I just feel like he's just checked out, but he's staying in. You get my drift? He's checked out of the marriage, but it's cheaper to keep her. So he's not going to go anywhere. But his energy and his spirit are not there. And if she's going to suffer in this marriage, then she absolutely needs to get some help in therapy and counseling. So she really needs to dig to the deep-rooted issues that are within herself that has her exhibiting the insecurities that she does, as well as the jealousy that she has towards Melody. Because Melody was extremely respectful. She did not have to be there. She did not have to give it was really constructive criticism when it comes to the Black Business Expo. Emphasis on X. Because I know the girl has a speech impediment, but it really bothers me when I hear her say Expo. I'm sorry. It's like, oh my God, just don't even say that part. Just say the conference. I don't think she would have a problem saying that word. Say the Black Business Conference. Use words that you really don't have a problem using. And I'm really not trying to make fun of her, guys. It's just a pet peeve of mine. And it's not just her. It's a pet peeve of mine when I hear anyone that is pronouncing words incorrectly. None of us are perfect, but it's just an annoyance, and it just kind of gets under my skin. So anyway, Melody did not have to be there to give her critiques and knowledge. And you know something I'm going to say? As disrespectful as Hotel has been to his ex-wife and the mother of his 4 beautiful children, the one thing that I will say about him is it really seems like when it comes to business, except when someone may be trying to come for him and then he will try to take credit for things over Melody, because we know he likes to do that. But when it comes to others, he does give her, it seems, that respect when it comes to her business acumen. And I'm happy to see that, because he could have just stayed silent because this was all before Melody got there. So it wasn't even like he was trying to put on a front or he was trying to act as if he is down for Mel. He's really trying to just be this Superman savior in front of her to make her feel a certain type of way about him when it comes to him taking up for her in the regards and aspects of business. He did all of that before she even came into the room. So I have to acknowledge and respect that. I don't respect him, but I have to acknowledge and respect that. Because when Marsau was trying to discredit her businesses and the things that she's doing, he was speaking up and he was letting him know, like, no, you can't take that away from her. What you're saying sounds absolutely ridiculous. And it 100% was. But Melody did not have to be there. She was a spectator at best when it came to the actual expo when it happened, because she did not participate and she was not a speaker, but she showed up and we can't take that away from her. So she did not have to show up to this town hall, so to speak, meeting to give critiques on what they could have done better. So if you choose to do this in the future, what would happen, next time? Hopefully that's going to be above and beyond what you did this time. She didn't have to show up for that. But when Stormy was sitting there calling her husband a bitch to his and her face, she sat there mum. She was as quiet as a church mouse. She did not say a mumbling word. But when she met up with Stormy at that lunch after the expo, she had the nerve to say, I don't like how you were dealing with my husband. If she didn't like how she was dealing with her husband about the $100 that he confronted her about at the expo, why would she not say something at that point in time when Stormy called him a bitch in front of both of their faces? She was quiet. But when Melody was speaking her piece about the expo and giving ideas and critiques about what they could do next time, she's got to hit back. So what are you saying? So what do you mean? I'm like, what do you think? Like, are you not listening, or is your envy and jealousy and insecurity so loud that it causes you to speak up about things that really make absolutely no sense at all at this point in time? I was just shaking my head, sitting there like, I cannot believe this girl. She really doesn't see herself. And if Kimmy was really her friend, I believe she would say something to her as well. At one point in time, I had more respect for Kimmy than I do now, because when Kimmy said to her, this was a few seasons ago on the reunion, she said that if it were not for the marriage connection that I'm married to her husband's brother, no, we probably would not be friends. I had more respect for her at that point in time than I do now. It's really weird. The energy is just really weird. And I'm not saying that Kimmy is jealous of Melody. I'm not. I'm not saying she's not jealous, but I'm not saying that she is. But I do believe in some ways Kimmy does feel some sort of way about Melody. Just a smidgen. You can let me know if you've picked up some things, if you've seen some things. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. But for me, to see the way Latisha has been with Melody and this constant back and forth of her coming to Melody, well, you know, I just want us to be in a good place, and I don't want us to keep throwing jabs. But yeah, her husband keeps throwing jabs, and she keeps getting hit with surprises, because in my personal opinion, I don't think Latisha knew that Marsau met up with Melody. I don't believe that she knew that. She could have, and even if she knew that they met up, I don't know if she knew the conversation that they had. So I feel that that was a shock and surprise to her. We know that Marsau has shocked and surprised her on a few different occasions when it comes to Melody and how she has gotten upset about it. I believe it was either this season or last season. You can let me know which it was, because I can't even really remember anymore now with all of these mid-seasons and pre-seasons and 4.5 and 5.1 and all. I don't know. I can't keep up with the numbers. But Latisha and Marsau was supposed to be having a date night. And of course they have it at their business, the Black Cigar Lounge, right? Okay. But Latisha got upset with Marsau because she met up, because it might be she. We know Stormy called him a bitch. So anyway, she met up with Melody, and Latisha got upset and she got up and left. And then we know that there was seasons prior when Marsau met up with Melody and wanted her to be the brand ambassador for their black, whatever, their chocolate in a bottle. I was about to say black in a bottle. Chocolate in a bottle, wine or champagne or whatever it was. And Latisha's mom spoke to her about it and about Marsau going up to meet up with Melody, and Latisha didn't know about it and she didn't like it. And so the insecurities are there when it comes to Latisha and Melody. Melody's not trying to do anything to make her jealous. Melody's just simply being who she is, and she's living her life. And Marsau is one of those types of people. He knows that his wife exhibits some insecurities, a lot of them, as well as jealousy. When it comes to Melody, he doesn't do anything to help her in those insecurities. It's almost like that scene from the movie Baby Boy, when whatever their character names were in the movie, I can't even really remember right now, but the character that was dating Tyrese, again, Jody, that was his name in the movie. You know, he was doing her dirty, sleeping with the baby mama, doing this person, doing that person, or whatever. And they were having an argument. And he was saying, you need to stop being so damn insecure. And she said, Jody, if I'm insecure, it's because you're making me that way based upon the stuff that you are doing. And it's similar to that in my personal opinion. It's like Marsau doesn't do anything to shore up her insecurities, to help calm her fears and ease the fact that she thinks that everyone is out here wanting this nigga, which that is far from the truth. That doesn't mean he's not cheating on her, because we know that there's some chicks that'll sleep with any and everybody, but it's not like he's this person to be craved. Most women with any thoughts about who they truly are would know that this Gumby is not worth it. You know, like, I don't know what it's looking like, what it's packing, I wouldn't even be thinking about that because it's irrelevant. He's far from attractive in any way, shape, or form, in my personal opinion, for anyone to want to be with him. But Tisha's like, girl, you can have him. Okay? But she seems to think that he's this craveable creature that all of these women are out here craving after and wanting. And it's like, girl, please. But yeah, he doesn't do anything to help her insecurities. So he knows that she feels some type of way, but he will do things like that. Like, remember when they were in Vegas and Melody and Martell were in the house fussing, and he just jumped up, titties bouncing, belly jiggling, to run in the house to go in there and save Melody from the ogre Martell? Like, seriously. He doesn't do things to help her in the areas where she is insecure. So I can understand that too. But Melody isn't doing anything to her to cause her to be this way. And so when I see the things that she is trying to check with Melody versus Stormy and just allowing this woman to call her husband a bitch, and I'm not even one to say that I disagreed with what Stormy said, but yet and still, this was her husband, and she wanted to try to confront Stormy at that lunch table to say, I don't like how you was coming at my husband. What about right then and there? But then you're going to try to check Melody? It's crazy. I don't know, guys. I'm just speaking about a few of these things that I have seen. You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section, guys. Thank you so much for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.